Hello. It is August the 28th, 2020. This is the Service Hero Show, 365 days of awesome. Celebrate success through service. My name is Tamara Hunter. I am your host, and this is the show that tells the inspiring stories of those that are inspiring others. So let's do this. Today is a very special day on the Service Hero Show for a number of different reasons, and one of them is we have one of our two service heroes in the studio right now. We have Julianne Meyer, and Julianne and Mikey Adam Cohen have just recently put on the Joy Summit. The Joy Summit is exactly that. And I was just visiting with Julianne, and she goes by Jules, yes, and she is a gem of a person, absolutely 100%, because you know what? She did this because of the fact right now people need joy. And many of the buddies, the community of which I am the president and co-founder of, they have been very, very actively watching and getting the messages and the inspiration that's been shared. And they have been sharing with me, it is exactly what it says. It is a summit full of joy. And that is what a service hero is all about. And Julianne Meyer and Mikey Adam Cohen have put this on, and you set out to make this only so many days, and because it became so popular, you kept extending it, right?
Yes, actually, we more than doubled the amount of speakers, and we extended it for longer because there's so many people that wanted to be involved to spread the joy as we're trying to do. And as Mikey would call them, Joy Scouts. I just love that term. It's
Joy
so cute.
Scouts.
Yes, but Tamara, I want to say thank you for having us on your show. Hopefully he'll be here in just a moment, but until then, I'll represent us both.
Well,
so thank you for having us.
You're welcome. You'll do a wonderful job. And I want to recognize those that are coming on. And I want to also say this. This is a very exciting day for the Service Hero Show. And it's really interesting how life works. You know, in the feed that we get in Facebook, the feed showed that today, a year ago, was the day that actually Mikey Adam Cohen and I flew off to Chicago. We went to Chicago because we were part of an international, kind of like a race is what they called it, a race against time. It was a race, an international race. It was an international, yes, competition, however, not against each other, against time. And it was a year ago that happened. It was 2 years ago that it was the very first time that this show ever hit over 1,000 views in like a day. The very first show. And that was 2 years ago. And then today is the very first time that we are sharing the e360tv platform. And so I want to just recognize that it's very cool how things work out. I want to recognize that we do have our buddies starting to show up. We have Helene Wilson. Helene is our first ambassador of the chat and one of my buddies. Good to see you, Helene. We have Sherry McQueen. Sherry McQueen is one of our senior ambassadors and one of your biggest fans. Oh, let me tell you, I think she is following everyone now, and then she'll like recap and let us know. And I love it. I love it. And so the two of them are here to be ambassadors also for the show, which we want to make people really feel welcome and that they're valued and a part of what we're doing. So, and thank you very much, Helene. I appreciate that. So yes, this is O. We have Ariel. Ariel, good to see you, my dear. Um, this is going to be an interesting format, guys. I have to get used to it. I have to be honest because I'm used to my show being on a different digital platform and being able to tell the stories in a different way. And so it's a really good learning experience. And thank you, Jules, for being here with me, kind of like holding my digital hand.
Glad to be of service.
And so let's talk about that. And I love it because they start chatting with each other. That's what we do. Let's talk about who you are and what really inspired you to have a Joy Summit.
Well, it actually has been a long time coming, and everything, the universe has its own timing, and I have to say it has fit right into place in the most amazing ways. But I will say that a long time ago, I was struggling with addiction issues, and I decided to get sober, and haven't looked back since. And obviously my quality of life got way better after I got sober, but I was still putting off joy. I kept waiting until I lost that 10 pounds, or I got that raise, or I moved to wherever. And it's like, I just didn't enjoy right now. And I was trying to improve myself, but I was coming from a place of feeling broken. So it took my partner, he and I were together for over a decade. He just ended up dying suddenly. And that rocked my world. And I've lost a lot of people, but that rocked my world. And that's when I realized if I keep waiting for outside circumstances to find joy and be happy, I will be waiting forever and I will never be happy. And that's when I decided, even in my grief, that I was going to start finding the joy and living with joy then. And then, of course, COVID hits and, all kinds of social unrest, you name it. I mean, I was talking with my stepmom yesterday. It was her birthday, and we were saying something about, well, all it's missing are the locusts, and she's like, but we've got murder hornets. So,
we
anyway,
got what?
Murder hornets. Yeah, we got everything.
Murder hornets. Okay.
Yeah, murder hornets. They're just these crazy bees. But anyway, so it made me think, because I just had lost my job again, and it made me realize that all these people were struggling with being happy because of all the things that were going on. And I realized that they're going to be waiting forever. So why don't I try and fast track people to figure out what I figured out without having to go as low as I did, to find joy. So it was the most fortuitous thing. I ended up meeting Mikey at the World's Greatest Motivators a year ago. And then I reached out to him. Thank you. I reached out to him asking him if I could interview him. And it turns out that he had basically the same ideas that I did. And we decided to partner up. So it went from just 21 days, 21 speakers to what we're up to. I think we've had 45 speakers on this summit, and it's lasted about a week longer than we had intended, just because it's been so much fun and so many people have reached out, and we've already started taping for another season. So it's just, I can't say enough about it. It's changed my perspective, and I've grown too. And I know Mikey has, and it's just been such a wonderful, fun experience.
And speaking of Mikey, he is making his grand appearance here.
There he is.
I don't know about grand.
There's my fearless co-host. I was missing you.
Love you. It's been a ride. We've really grown together, and it's been a wonderful experience. Tamara, thank you for having us on your incredible program. We're excited for your new platform. This is so fun.
Yes, I'm excited about it too. And I was sharing, Mikey, are you aware of what we were doing 1 year ago today?
No. Remind me.
We flew to Chicago. Yeah, 1 year ago today. And that shows, I really want to emphasize this, is that all of the people that entered the race a race against time, competition against time. All of them are impactors. And Mikey Adam Cohen is an impactor. He went back there as one of the top impactors, and look at what he's doing with you, Jules, and the two of you together have put on such an incredible, I'm going to say it's more than a summit. If it's all right. I feel that what you have created, and I know you used the word movement when you were speaking, but I actually believe it's more than that too. I believe that what you guys have been doing with reminding us all that we really need to show up for the joy that we do have. It is really a deep sparked, like you're sparking within each of us the light. You're giving us our own spark, our own, if you will, I don't want to say magic, but you know what I mean. It's just, there's got to be a perfect word, and I hope someone's going to share it here, because it's much more.
Well, we want to me. The way to put it is, let's say that the currency is joy. So if the currency was joy, what would you do for work? And that's basically the premise that sums it up.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I love that, because they do say that there's all sorts of different types of currency. And yes, to think in terms of our lives being that joyful. And your story, Jules, I knew, because of our time together, some of your story. I didn't know all of the story. And that is very deep when you think about it. And right now we have so many people in the world that are experiencing, yes, a shutdown, yes, a pandemic, yes, all of that. However, there's the cherry on top that's not so much, that not everybody sees it as the cherry on top. However, we can, because there are challenges today that many are facing, from hurricane, from firestorms, from flooding, and from all sorts of different things. Yet what you've been doing, and the timing could not be more perfect, because you have put together this joy summit, of which these people can for free sign up, and today find their currency of joy, right?
Exactly what we were going for. There's just been so much negativity, and that's why both Mikey and myself wanted you on the show, because you spread joy also, and positivity. Even when things are not going the way you hoped, even when things are not, well, you're not feeling well, there's still ways to find a little nugget of hope and happiness no matter where you are. So, that's just something we wanted to do. With all the negative media out there, we want to put something positive out.
Yeah, and Tamara, you no one would ever know if you weren't feeling up to par one day, and you just are a trooper. You show up, and you show up for the world, and you give them your best, and that's all we could expect from everybody on our summit. Is they've all been through lots of different things in their life that have been challenging. A lot of them were able to share that with on our platform, and then they've out of their vulnerability, there's hope in that, there's joy in that. And a lot of people can see the struggle in themselves and then come out on the other end as well. So we just wanted to provide a glimpse of that. And, we call them Joy Scouts. So everyone that spoke on the platform were Joy Scouts, and so they could spread joy, to their own troops, their own communities. And that's our hope, that we create a collective, collaborative consciousness of joy that will raise the frequency and the vibration and really make change, on our planet right now. That's
I love it.
The least we can do. It's the least we can do for the world, and we're hoping to do more of these. And it was Jules' baby. It was her idea, and when she asked me to speak, and then I said, well, why don't I partner, and why don't we make this like the very best that we can, and reach as many people as possible, and just get a bunch of incredible thought leaders that can help, from teachers to students to professors to geniuses to humanitarians to survivors. I think we really had a great bunch of people, to musicians and entertainers. If I'm leaving
all walks of life.
Exactly. And Sharon McQueen is saying the summit was amazing. And I know she was waiting every morning for her email, loved it. And the speakers you gave us access to see. Thank you both. And Lori, so glad you're here with us today. And I want to go into the process that you had for the speakers also, because you really thought about not only sharing the joy out into the public, you went as deep as to share the joy with the speakers.
Mm-hmm.
That is so unique and so special. Why don't you guys talk to how you did that? Who came up with the idea? And it was like you gave us a present before we even served.
Well, I would say that Mikey and I live what we are trying to teach. So we want to bring the light out in everybody that we encounter. So, we just wanted all of our conversations to be authentic. None of it was pre-planned. Everything just sort of dropped down and we would just ask. And of course, we wanted to give the speakers all an opportunity to share anything that we didn't mention that, they thought would be important. So it was, it just turned into, like I said, a community, a relationship with a bunch of different people. And it has been amazing. Everybody we're still in touch with. We talk to, email, text, call, even with the guests that have reached out, we always reach back. I mean, it's been absolutely amazing. And Mikey, who knows everybody and their dog in a good way, because he's a connector, he definitely is a connector. He had the opportunity to reach out to some extra special guests as well that, might not have necessarily been on this particular platform. So he really put in a lot of extra work in that respect too, because he saw the joy and the wonderfulness that we were putting out, and he just wanted it to be the best it could be. So, he just showed up bringing his best self every day.
And I can attest to that, because Mikey and I have, everybody knows, I mean, there for a while we were hanging all the time, and I was like,
and we would be everywhere with everybody.
Yeah, we would be, and it was like, and he's dressed to the nines and really bold and beautiful and color, and here I am, Tamara, so it got to a point where it would be, Tamara, what are you going to wear? Will you show me a picture, please? and I love him for it. And I'm just teasing with him, because what ended up happening is that, yes, we were able to go to so many different types of events, because I was in one world, he was in another world. We then ended up in both worlds. And that is where many times something like this, a summit, and I want to speak to the fact that it was digital, because I really do believe that there is a lot more that can be done. And I want to recognize Carol Battersons, because Carol is a major help with this show and everything we do within the Buddies also. Thank you for all you do. And, that's about the service and the fact that here, when Mikey and I would go to things, he knows everybody. And I mean, by golly, some of the things, it became almost like choice anxiety. Okay, there's like 2 or 3 things that need to take place this weekend, and I need to be in Phoenix, but then I need to be here, and then it's like magic carpet. and yet now we have the magic carpet. If we choose to look at the fact that right now, and this is where the joy comes in, right? Because we can be looking at the events that are taking place out there. Yeah, absolutely. And we can maybe like feel like we need to start licking our wounds or whatever it may be, right? Or we can say, magic carpet time. We've got the ability to have in one summit people from anywhere our imaginations want to take us now, because they're not limited to having to get a ticket, having to make it work in their schedule, on, right?
Having to get hotel reservations or like a flight or anything. Here it's virtually. They can do it from their pajamas in their own bed. You know, not our Boy Scout speakers, but I'm talking about. Don't get it twisted. That's one.
Trust me, this is a G-rated show. We're good. We're good.
That's one of Jules' lines. So, yeah, we really wanted to let people know that a lot of the reason why people didn't have joy in their life was because they weren't allowing it, and they needed to do the work on themselves. You know, they needed to put themselves first, and they needed to do the internal work. So, and a lot of the Joy Scouts we had on the show showed our audience how to do that. So they were giving their secret sauce, if you will. And I thought that was really powerful, because these are people that have been, doing this for years, and they really just want to give the secret to finding that joy and happiness in your life. And so many different, a lot of the Joy Scouts, had a common theme or a common denominator that actually, got them to the place that they are now. But Barry Shore, for example, talking about someone that has all the stacks against him. He can't get the use of his arms or legs, and yet he is the ambassador of joy.
Oh yeah,
he can't stop smiling, and everything about him is just a wonderful experience. And he started the Keep Smiling movement, and for someone like that comes from such hardships, it was able to overcome everything and be a beam of incredible light for everybody. Really says a lot.
Okay, well, says a lot. I'm going to I'm going to break away, because I did ask for just a little bit of some, like a nugget or two, and I did get one from our Jules here. So I am going to share that, and then we're going to allow you, Mikey, to give a few nuggets live. So let's break away for that right now.
My name is Julianne Meyer of saying that I'm a host of the Live with Joy Summit. Is the generosity and the love that has been extended to not only Mikey and myself, but to our entire audience. So what are a couple of those little nuggets of wisdom? Well, Gay Hendricks said that fear is just excitement without the breath. Is when Chris Salem said to give without restrictions and receive without resistance. Is to accept help when it's offered to me. Because when others see greatness in you, you need to let them.
So, Mikey, first of all, yeah, and I know that you had so many more, nuggets that were shared. Mikey, what would be some of the take-home messages or nuggets that you felt were shared, or what did you personally, how did it inspire you? Either one.
I mean, it inspired me to really change my internal self. I mean, for instance, Forbes Riley, we plan on doing an interview with her, and she turned the cards on us. And you know what? It was a wonderful experience, because it allowed us to do the internal work on ourselves before a live audience. And I really thought that was incredible. There she is. Yeah. I really thought that was an incredible show, because, we were putting ourselves in the hot seat and being vulnerable. And I really felt special, because like she, we got firsthand of what she does best. We had, Harrison Klein probably had the most incredible things to say. I don't have them off the top of my head, but I mean, that guy, he calls himself a genius. He is a genius. And most of what he said will probably be like the forward to our book that we do for the summit, because it was so incredible. Just every word, he's a wordsmith. Every ounce of being is higher than that. Like, he's so, I can't even, I wish I could express myself the way he did. All I can say is that everyone really brought their A game to this, and you know, I gotta watch back all of the footage we have too, and relive it, because it was just an incredible experience. And Jules is like a really incredible interviewer, and I think when I was stumped on what I was going to say next, she just jumped in there like a firecracker, just ready to go, and I think, and vice versa. So, you know, I think we really played well off each other. And yeah, we had to put ourselves first, and you know, be up front with like what something like Tamara does every day. You have to really appreciate someone like Tamara, because you know, to be able to go live that many times a day, it's exhausting. And at times when you just want to crawl into the coverage yourself, no, you got to keep going. You created this momentum, you created this energy. You got to keep going with it. You can't say no. You can't stop. And you just got to go roll with the punches. And that was probably something I needed. I needed that extra kick in the pants just to, you know, spark something in me. So
I was going to say, he's growing up. I love you, Mikey. And, you know, and just in fun, because we had just come out of, you know, when we went a year ago to the Next Impactor, that was after months and months and months of grueling, you know, it was fun. It was a race. It was a true race, you know, and yet, and we still had your regular things that you were doing. Right. And so,
yeah, I'd be at like 2-3 music festivals or music events a week. And then we did the Next Impactor too. And we were, you know, pushed into challenges that would require all of your being. And thank you so much, Sherry. That was really beautiful of you to say that. Sherry McQueen, let me say, is one of the most incredible, like, people in our audience. You know, she would like check in with us almost every other day. And you know, I at first I didn't even know who she was, and then I realized, of course, she was with Tamara. She's like, you know, one of the most incredible people, and just like her spirit and her being like overshines everybody else's. So the fact that she was convinced that we're doing something cool, that's all I needed.
Oh, you know, and thank you for recognizing that, because, you know, when you have people that are showing up and then participating, because not everybody does participate, because maybe they're for whatever reason, however, they're being filled, they're being sparked, that joy is being found inside of them. And right now, that is something that so many are feeling, as though their cup is not overflowing. It might even be, you know, a little empty. And you know, I was going to grab one of my things, but I won't right this minute. And you know, sending love, thank you, and light to you all. That's wonderful. I love it. And when you have these messages and your nuggets that you were sharing right now, I really appreciate. I did cut because of the time I had to, but the Chris Salem, you had mentioned, not only did he say what he said, but you hear it in your head all the time. Why don't you talk about that?
Well, it's interesting. Just to reiterate, he said to give without restrictions and receive without resistance. And receiving without resistance is a lot harder than you may think it is. So let's say, Tamara, I say, you look beautiful today. You might be, oh yeah, but I only got 4. No yeah buts. Right. Just thank you. Just a simple thank you. And that's receiving without resistance. Or the other day, somebody handed me some money that, I almost went, no, but then I thought receive without resistance. So I took and I said, thank you. And his whole purpose behind saying that, and I thought it was really brilliant, was that you keep the flow of energy moving, giving and receiving, because it's as much for the person giving as it is for the person receiving. So if you are going to be selfish enough to keep it all for yourself, then you're just being selfish. And so it's hard though to just say thank you and leave it at that, especially as women, when we hear things like, oh yeah, but it only cost me this, or we always qualify compliments and things like that. But I just love that though. He just said to make sure you receive without resistance. And it's when you start paying attention, and now you'll realize how often you don't let it abundance into your life, and whatever, and thinking with joy. If you are afraid to feel those negative feelings, you will never feel joy, not at all. So you definitely have to keep that in mind too. You can't avoid it. And that was another point of our summit too, is it's not Pollyanna. We're not trying to Pollyanna the universe right now, but we do want to point out things like the birds chirping in the morning, right, or the sound of the waves crashing, or, okay, maybe there's a lot of, people staying home from work, but now there's not as much traffic on the road.
Right. And less smog in the air, and, and less resources being utilized. And yes, there is. And, there's nothing wrong with the Pollyanna kind of thing, I just really kind of like go there because, and that is that, again, it's not Pollyanna in my mind to be completely aware, yet choose. Yes. It's a choice.
I like
we
that.
Can choose. Mm-hmm. And you can choose to look at it in the Pollyanna way, or you can look at it in the Mr. Grinch way. Which one would you rather be? I know which one I'm leaning towards, and right?
Wink,
absolutely.
Wink, wink. That's right. and yes, Carol, a nugget, 2 simple words. Thank you. Jules, our parents. And then I'm a parent, now I'm a nana, and when they're little, you think, okay, I'm teaching them these things, they should be like internalizing them and really and absorbing them. However, in this fast-paced world that we're in, do you think that it works for us or against us when it comes to the joy? I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking, because you put this all out there on the digital platform. We're in a fast-paced world. We have all of these amazing technology, formats and apps and platforms and machines and yada, yada, yada. And we can see them for the, again, the 2 different sides.
I really think that, finding joy isn't so much in those platforms and in all the technology. I think the more that you read and the more that you stimulate your brain, the more you're going to find the joy. The more you let back on resistance, the more you are involved in other people's lives. Finding joy can be as simple as giving back. If you give back more than you receive, you're going to have an incredible, joyful life.
Yeah, give with no restrictions.
I love it.
Yes. I would say that the interesting thing is I am not really into electronics or the internet or doing online stuff. So it's really interesting that this is how I decided to show up in the world. And I will say that it's because this is the best way for people to reach out now. And if this is where people are right now, then that's where I need to go, because that's where the people are. And so I got over myself and decided to put something out there. Now, there's, like you said, with all the electronics and online stuff, I don't watch the news. I refuse to watch the news. I don't read articles anymore. If there's something really important, I'm going to hear about it. I know about the hurricanes. I didn't need to see all the pictures and everything else. I know. But I choose to put in what's going to make me happier or more joyful, because there's nothing I can do about the hurricanes. If there was something I could do to help or stop, then I could do those things. But feeling bad about it doesn't change what's happening. So for me to help the world, I need to vibrate and have a higher energy so that I can help in that way. And here's something that's really cool. I don't know if you know this, but it's called the healthy ripple effect. And if you make one healthy choice in your life, it ripples out 4 people. You affect, like the 6 degrees of separation, Kevin Bacon thing, same idea, but it's 4 degrees of a healthy ripple. And that's how
I love that.
So,
Jules embodies the healthy ripple.
I love that. Yes. Yes.
yeah. So just know that how you show up is more important than even what you say sometimes, because people are watching, like kids, they're watching what you're doing.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, I'm going to drop a breakaway again one more time in regards to exactly that. This is a perfect time, because this is a group that we'll talk about this, and because I want to recognize Mikey for a moment, and actually you too, Jules. So let me share this.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been showing that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a chemo buddy for life.
We are a buddies network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are chemo buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
So,
yeah,
and I want to recognize you both as the service heroes also when it comes to, yes, this is what it is that motivated me to have this show. It's always, all roads lead back to the buddies for everything that I do. And we go out and have fun. And that's where, when you were talking about this, yes, it gets your heart, and yes, it makes me cry. And and I want to say thank you to Skip Thomas, our board member over digital platforms, that had created that. And yes, I did have to snip it down a little bit because it has to fit into this platform. However, with that said, Mikey really has helped in so many ways. He got so involved with this, and for a while was our acting president for our organization. I want to thank you for that. And then Jules, you shared on the summit a lot in regards to what it is that we're doing with this platform. And in giving your platform, you shared with our buddies, and you shared with myself, and then it touched you. And that's what the whole full circle of joy and Joy Scouts and everything epitomize, right? It's am I right? I'd love to hear from both.
You are. Go ahead, Mikey.
Yeah, go ahead. It's a movement. It's definitely a movement. It's definitely, we, all of us have been, tested and tried by so many different ailments in the world. And cancer is something that hits really close to my home and really close to Jules as well. And that for that reason alone, we want to have more people share the story of coming out on the other end, and and having the people in their lives, and like you said, Tamara, like it's all about having a buddy, having someone to talk to, having someone with something similar to you, and that goes with all different diseases and things that are out there. If you have someone to talk to, someone that says it's okay to go through what you're going through for that day, chances are you're gonna come out in the other end, you're gonna be strong, or at least in the process you're gonna heal, and you're gonna help others to do the same. And Jules really comes from a health fitness background, and then also a surviving background. So I don't know if she's ready to talk about that now, but I think it's really powerful the way she says it, and she's still connected to the ones that she loved that are no longer here on the planet, but they're still around. So.
Well, I'm not sure. I've got a lot of background, but something that keeps dropping down that I do have to mention is that when somebody, and I don't have cancer and I haven't had it, but the one thing I want to recognize, and maybe I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to anyway, is that when you are going through something like that, something like cancer, and there's other people who are trying to help you, the beautiful thing about Chemo Buddies is you guys can just communicate and support each other. Whereas, let's say, Tamara, I'm your daughter and I'm trying to support you. You're also going to be trying to take care of my feelings.
Right.
You don't need that extra stuff,
Right.
You need to just be able to share and let it all out and have somebody who understands you and what you're going through, that you don't have to sugarcoat anything. You don't have to worry about how they're going to take it and manage their feelings about your illness. I mean, come on, you already got enough on your plate. So I just want to say that what you do is so amazing, because you can just be free and you don't have to explain everything. And you can be upset if you want to be upset, and they're going to understand. Whereas
right.
people who don't have it are kind of like,
and to let beautifully, like, that's why you're just the most incredible co-host, partner in this. Like, I love what you just said. I love how you said it. You get it. You totally get it. Thank you for that.
You do. And I was going to say, because my knees were going off, and whenever my knees are going off, it's like, whoa, we're really here. And the two of you, when you were sharing this, Jules, the thing that I do notice too is when it goes along with even like the whole idea of buddies, and the two of you the two of you are playing off of each other, but not really. It's not that play off of each other. You complement each other. You get to that point where it's almost like, okay, yin and yang. Okay, we're out there because we believe in sharing the joy. We can do this together, and we can make that happen on a much broader and bigger level. And when you have an organization, a group of people that are serving people that maybe don't have that right now, are not feeling that. They're seeing the interaction of the two of you and saying, I need that. I want that. I want to do that. And the thing that, and both of you are actually members of our community, and I appreciate that, because yes, you both have been affected by cancer, not by having it, being affected by it, and that fits within our criteria too, because like you were explaining so well, Jules, is that to have someone that you can understand and understands you when in the whole daughter-mother scenario, it is critically important, because you're going to come from two different places. And when you have someone that understands the mother and they can get it out, and then the daughter and they can get it out, that when they come together, they've gotten it out and they can be about each other and share that love and joy, share the joy, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And they have found, and I want to bring up another picture that Mikey had sent over. They have found that that for us to be able to have clean out our system, if you will. And cleaning out our system can be physical, like what you do, Jules, you know, and being a health and wellness coach and teacher and out there and doing your live videos with your exercise. I love those and everything that you do, right? And then the healing through music that you do, Mikey, and I love that. It's the whole idea of the cleansing to our cellular level when we can do that. And I noticed that you sent over a picture of someone that actually is named Joy. You know, let me take that down. We have one of my mentors, and she's actually one of my mentors for NLP, you know, I'm certified with, I went through class, I became certified in one certification, and I have a couple more to become certified. And wanted to, as we're starting to get round about on this, I wanted to ask, because the fact that you were sharing so much joy, and for us to be able to finally bring that in, breathe it in, let go of all the bad and bring in the good, that can help. And so that someone will never hear those 3 words, right?
Absolutely. There's a saying, and it drives me crazy, but it also is very true. We keep our issues in our tissues, and
you never see that one.
You know, they call it dis-ease for a reason. And I'm not saying that environmental things and it's all your fault, or it's not about blaming. It's just about that we hold on to things, and if we don't take care of it, it will manifest itself in different ways. And there's just got to be a way of letting things go. And it's not always fun. It's not always pleasant. It's like the growing spiritually. People think it's like la la la. You know, but no, it's more like
it's
not. But you know, it's the thing is if you can take sort of, you have to honor your feelings. No matter where you are, you need to honor them, but they don't have to decide how you're going to show up in your life. And one of my favorite authors, Steve Chandler, he said this, and I think it's so funny. He used this example. He talks about how when people say, "Oh, I'm too depressed to go exercise. I'm too depressed to eat well. I'm too depressed to whatever." And he's not knocking the fact that people deal with depression. What he's saying is let's say you're sitting next to a pool and somebody's drowning. You don't sit there and watch them drown and say, "I'm too depressed to go save their life." No, you just go do it.
Right.
This is really not any different, you know?
Right.
Said Tamara about the breathing, because a lot of being joyful in society is practicing your breathing and your breathing technique to allow you to let go of tension, allow you to let go of negativity, and your brain and your internal thought process, because your brain's going to tell you, you know, that you can't accomplish something, you know. And if you gotta like do the mind hacks, be a paradigm disruptor, change your paradigm so that you can disrupt yourself, so that you can, you know, lead the life that you want. And a lot of that goes back to breathing. You know, take a deep breath, hold it in the very back of your head, and feel yourself pushing it out. When you push all that air out, you're pushing all that negativity. You're watching it flee the body, and you're taking in all the positive that's there. So, yeah, I mean, breathing is a big aspect to finding joy and being at peace in your life.
So you had a big finale, and then you're going to have a second one, right? Okay, the big finale was.
I loved it because, you know, here we had Albert Corey, who, you know, really stepped up to the plate at the last minute, and, you know, really offered us something that, you know, was super cool. I mean, you know, at one point, you know, we thought we were done with the summit, and Albert's like, "I want to be a part of this so bad." And, you know, if there wasn't in the budget to bring someone on at that time, he said, "You know what? I don't care how it happens. If I have to pay to be, you know, for my part, whatever it costs, I'm going to do so." And he says, "I'm free to talk about that today," because he's one that wants to be included with everybody else, because he belongs in this circle with everybody else. He's worked on stage with everybody else. And why shouldn't he be a part of our inaugural summit? And so I thought that was really cool. and he really, you know, sparked something new in me when I was even saying, you know, I don't know what we're going to do with the next one. I don't know how we're going to do this, but we have so many people and we're in such demand with the summit. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep creating momentum, and we'll figure it out for sure. But regarding the finale, David Corbin is one of the most incredible thought leaders and really puts people first. He really is incredible, and he has an incredible breakthrough that he's bringing into the world right now that is on that summit.
Helping frontline workers.
Huh?
Sorry, he's helping frontline workers.
Yes.
He brings meditation stations to the hospital so that the frontline workers and the people who are there can take a second, find their breath, center themselves again, and then keep moving forward from a positive place. So I definitely want to mention that because that is amazing.
That is another service hero. We need to have him on as a service hero for that.
Definitely do. He's created what's called a rejuvenation station, and it's so incredible. I mean, you can actually type in your information and then do a meditation that's Corbin who David Corbin. Incredible, to short, Corbin who. Yeah, he is an incredible guy, and it's called the Rejuvenation Station, and it's rolling out this week or so in all the hospitals. And basically, you create your own profile. You kind of type in what you're looking for. It's for frontline workers to really have a place where they can check in and you know, find that meditation or whatever it is to get to you know, provide a little
personalized. Personalized for your emotions. So like if you're feeling anxiety or depression, sorry, Mikey, I didn't mean to interrupt. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. But I would love for you to tell about your friend.
Okay. And so then we ended it with, like, you know, an incredible friend of mine that's a legend in the music business. And, you know, it was really great that she said yes. That's one thing, you know, when I've been of service to so many people in music and all different walks of life, it's really, really incredible when they say yes to something that I'm a part of. And Melissa Manchester did that. And what I wanted to talk about is Melissa Manchester has so many of the same beliefs as Jules and I and a bunch of people that are Joy Scouts on the platform, really being in this life as a vessel and, you know, really letting the source channel through you and provide the very best of the world to shine. So, and she did that in the most loving, beautiful way. And, you know, and she has a new release coming out that's a pandemic album. So I thought it was that we brought it up, and it's called Revise, and it's all about, you know, a new way of showing some of her older hits and remaster them in a different way and rearrange them and really brought them to a new beautiful place. So one of the songs called You and I, and it's just about the connection between two people.
Oh, I love that.
It was really incredible.
Well, as we start to wrap this up, because we've got a couple minutes, and then and we're going to be saying goodbye for today, and I want to be able to recognize you both for the service heroes that you are. And the Live with Joy Summit, before I do finish it up, I want to just make sure that they can sign up today for free, and they can still have access to all of the different people that have spoken and be able to listen to the finale with Melissa Manchester, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
But not for much longer, so sign up now.
So sign up now.
I just want to correct 1 second. It's the Live with Joy Summit, not the Live.
Live. Okay.
It's the Live.
Okay. We need to change it. Okay. Okay. So we'll do that. We'll make it.
It's spelled right.
It's spelled right.
Okay. So Live. Okay. So Live. Of course, I always think live because I go live all the time. So I got it on the brain. Okay. Forgive me. Thank you. So as we close, I do want to make sure that they know that if they will be able to, when they sign up here, that they'll be able to hear when the second one takes place, right?
Of course.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
We'll
We've got it. So the bottom line is, everybody, you need to get signed up because there is so much joy that you will be able to bring into your own life
And
and
we
ask. Go ahead.
We have some incredible speakers, Joy Scouts, on our next summit, by the way. We have William Hung, we have Marvin Epstein, we have so many, Kristen Miracle, we have so many incredible people. And we have Bill Walsh, we have so many, who else, Jules? We have
how about Brian Thompson, Terry Woolman, a few, like so many people. I mean, it's been absolutely amazing. Sorry, I guess my computer is acting up.
You know it. So as we close, we know that next one is going to be incredible. And I want to say this, that today, at the end of the show, we have determined, yes, that you are both service heroes, that you are both taking out the message of joy in such a way, Joy Scouts, that you are absolutely changing the world one person at a time with joy. And thank you for that. I want to also say thank you to everybody that supports this show and supports the buddies, because that is so important. We are going to now close the show. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Mikey. And I will be back on Sunday, the 30th, and that is the 1-year anniversary to the day that we did here on the stage, who the top 5 were, 6 people, top 5, and we will have them back for an anniversary show on Sunday at noon. Yep. All right. Bye, guys. See you. Love you too. See you guys on Sunday.